Well, Labour politicians are targeting Andy Coulson, who was deputy editor and then editor of the News of the World until he resigned in early 2007 as a result of the court case involving Clive Goodman, the paper's former royal correspondent, in a telephone hacking case. Later in 2007, Mr Coulson became Director of Communications for the Conservative Party, and Labour are saying that he is not fit to hold that post tonight. That charge is being led by John Prescott, who is one of the politicians named in The Guardian. The Guardian says that he was one of the politicians who may have been tapped. He was asked this evening if he'd been told by police if he'd been told by police that his phone was tapped. Mr Prescott said absolutely not. I find it staggering. There could be a list known to the police of people who'd had their phone tapped. And on Mr Coulson, John Prescott says, I hope Mr Cameron will clear him out. Now, a couple of other former Labour cabinet ministers have weighed in. Jeff Hoon says it's hard to see how in these circumstances Andy Coulson can continue as David Cameron's communications chief while such a cloud hangs over his reputation. David Cameron must make clear what action he intends to take on this matter. And thirdly, Charles Clarke, former Education Secretary and Home Secretary, said David Cameron now has to make his contribution to cleaning up public life by sacking his media advisor Andy Coulson, who's closely implicated in this utterly unacceptable behaviour. Now, privately, senior Labour figures I've spoken to are trying to draw a comparison between this and the Damien McBride emails affair. The big difference, of course, though, is that Mr McBride was forced out over action that he took while he was acting for Gordon Brown, working inside Number 10. This has nothing to do with Mr Coulson and his job with the Conservative Party. It goes back to when he was editor and deputy editor, perhaps, of the News of the World.